Civility is more person-to-person, face-to-face. I suppose that if I did that Skype stuff where people see each other when they're on computers, maybe that would bring more of the civility into the technology. But I think when we don't have that face-to-face, eyeball-to-eyeball, that we can forget what we're really all about.
Essentially, technology is a good thing. It's just how we use it that affects people. And if you're not being civil while using the technology, I don't think you deserve to have it.
The most annoying thing about today's world is all the abbreviations that people use.
OMG.
Oh my gosh.
LOL.
OMG!
LOL.
Yeah, I don't do Facebook.
OMG.
LOL, laugh out loud.
LOL is laugh out loud.
Tweet.
Twitter?
Twitter. Tweeter.
Instagram.
No, I don't know what Instagram means.
Vine? I have no idea what Vine is.
Skype.
I can Skype my family, even my brother that's the airline pilot in China.
Well, since I'm old, I don't care for Skype because they see me.
It's really weird because my grandparents, since they live alone, they've been getting more and more into the internet. So they've started following me on Facebook and they've been doing all this really nice stuff on Facebook too, like starting a bunch of things to help other people who don't have enough stuff. But I think I'd be most surprised if they started tweeting because that doesn't seem like they can't contain their thoughts to 140 characters.
A blog? That's something I don't have.
A blog is, I guess, a discussion on one topic.
It's like a tweet, except it's a little longer.
Instagram?
I don't really know what it is, and I have always told my friends that I'm technologically challenged. Having the word instant, I'm assuming it means fast, and probably it's another way of getting really quick information without having to pay a lot of dues. But I don't really know.
Civility has gone downhill because of social media, because over a text message, if you say something that's mean to someone, it's very consequenceless, and they're just like, oh, they can't do anything about it because they just can't.
I don't think there's been much change in civility. We still have people that are kind, gentle, helpful.
Digital communication affects empathy because you're not actually interacting with the person. You're not seeing their face, you're not seeing what emotions, or if you were to say something, how they react to it.
There's an awful lot of my own family that doesn't even bother to call me on the phone and say thank you, much less send me a handwritten note.
Technology makes it easier to be mean. There's a lot that one can post anonymously. Well, sometimes I worry that says that people are inherently mean, and it's only the act of being held accountable that keeps us civil in real life.
With my friends, I usually do text message. It's faster and it's easier than calling them, and they usually never answer their phone anyway. And with my parents, I call them because they want to know that it's actually me on the other side of the phone. With my grandma, she's against it all.
I'm one of the few people on the face of the earth, I believe, that does not have a cell phone.
There's times where I'll take both my car charger and the outlet charger with me, no matter where I am, because I just don't want to have that 5 minutes of my phone not having battery. So I'm constantly worried about the amount of battery I have because I know I need my phone with me at all. It's not even I need it, I just want it with me at all times.
If someone took away my phone, it would be a minor nuisance. It wouldn't be a handicap. I lived the first 11 years of my life without my phone, and I've worked really hard to make sure I'm not incredibly dependent on it.
If I'm at my house and my mom's in like the other room, I'll text her instead of being like getting up and go talk to her because it's just like lazy and just a lot easier.
Like when I'm with my grandparents and I check my phone, they get like ticked off or like just upset in general because like it's important to spend quality time with the people that you are there with because you're with them. So it's like live in the moment and not like always be on your phone, and do that another time when you're alone or something.
Most of the people I'm associated with are spend time with. It's done personally, as opposed to using telephones or whatever electronic equipment.
The only time I'll call is if the text isn't replied to. So it's definitely the second option. But I can't think of a time where I've called someone to actually chat.
I can live without my cell phone easily, yeah, but landline calls are the ones that I always do.
If my phone would die, like deep down inside, I would honestly feel like part of me is missing. All jokes aside, because like there's times when my phone, I'll go out like for 2 hours at night and my phone will be out of battery, and immediately I feel like I'm out of sync with like with the world, honestly. Like I'm not getting the sports updates, I'm not getting texts from my parents, and like if I was to not have my phone for a day or two max, I would honestly be able to say it would be very tough 2 days.
I check for emails greater than 100 times a day and text around 10 times a day.
About 200 times a day.
Probably over 100 times a day.
I check about, I hate to say it, 6 or 7 times a day.
None for text messages.
15 times a day.
I don't do texting.
Text message wise, I'm checking my phone maybe every, honestly, minute or so to see if I have a new notification. I'm constantly texting, whether it's like my friends, my family, my parents. So I'll never go 5 minutes at like max without checking my phone for a text message without reading it.
Probably 30 times a day.
I check for emails and texts an inappropriate amount of times a day.
I check for emails and texts
Too often.
about 2 times a day.
Only 2?
Yeah.
Nice.
We need to realize that face-to-face communication is still the most important way to communicate, and it's essential to everyday life. We can't put that as a second seat to calling or texting or emailing even.
Oh, I think we'll learn to handle it better. And I think things swing on that pendulum back and forth. And I think we'll learn that we need to have more face-to-face, more interaction, more real people rather than, texting.
Technology in the future, I think that over time it will degrade our social skills, and that in this you will have bad communication skills, and that over time that people won't be able to like talk or say maybe proper words because they used to like texting it, and it's like sub language.
Say something about my generation. We're like the test rats of this new era of technology communication. So I don't think it's going to be terrible, but it's up to us to develop a way where we realize that we're still all humans and we're talking to humans.
I can just barely wait for what's next, to be quite honest with you.